If you're thinking of buying the Porsche 911 Cabrio or the Aston Martin Vantage Cabriolet as well, don't. Today, I'm going to show you why you should buy these. Wait, my pants got caught in the door handle. It literally got caught in the door handle. Okay, cut. If you're thinking of buying the Porsche 911 Cabrio or the Aston Martin Vantage, don't. Buy this instead. And today, I'm going to show you why. Let's roll! You're probably wondering, a Porsche 911? This better than a 911? Yes. What we have in here is the Mercedes SL55 AMG. The SL has a long history of being people's favorite cabrio, millionaires' favorite cabrio, and also the depreciation market favorite cabrio. The Mercedes SL comes in 3 trims. You get the SL43 with an inline 4-cylinder, pretty embarrassing. And then you get the SL55 AMG, which I call it the sweet spot. And then you get the SL63 AMG. The SL55 and the 63 are very similar. They share almost the same engine, just tuned differently, suspension different, brakes different, and so on. Now, if the 911 looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is Megan Fox. It looks like a piece of art. In fact, you can park this inside your expensive apartment behind a visible glass and you could stare at this all day with this beautiful color, the chrome finish on the outside, the long hood, the massive grille at the front, which screams luxury, and it's got presence more than any car out there. I mean, everyone drives a 911, who cares? This, on the other hand, is unique in my opinion. And it's got an amazing engine under the hood. In fact, you can ask Aston Martin because they use the same engine as this, but it doesn't cost $500,000. It's also very practical. Unlike the 911, which doesn't have a trunk, this does. You press that and you get access to some space. It's not a lot, but you're not taking this camping, because if you do, then this is not the right car for you. You do get 2 seats in the back, which you can use it for storage if you don't have small kids like toddlers, because anybody else would be useless to go in there. But this is enough. It just gives you enough space to put your lunchbox or your backpack or anything that you might, your daily grocery, like you're not going to Costco, but let's just say to a normal supermarket. This is perfect. One thing that annoys me about the new Mercedes, and this is one of those, is the door handles. And I've cut my fingers a couple of times. In China, they're planning to ban pop-out door handles, which I think is actually very smart. What you do, slide like that and it opens up. But I've had cases where I've tried to open the door and the door handle is kind of like closed on me, and I've had my fingers, and as you saw today, my pants got stuck in there, but I'm okay. It didn't cut anything delicate, just the pants. This is the most annoying thing about this car. But to make up for that, at nighttime, it shows the AMG logo projected onto the ground, which I think is a nice touch overall. And then you move on to the front, where you have the V8 bi-turbo 4MATIC badge, so that people passing you by, they know this is not the SL43 AMG with 4 cylinders. Whoever thought of that was the dumbest person ever. And you've got the beautiful 21-inch wheels, which I'm a big fan. The entire spec with the yellow calipers, the blue paint, the silver wheels. Bravo. Whoever picked this, bravo. I actually feel like I should be looking on this for dealer's trade so that maybe I could buy this one at half price. Another great thing about the SL55 is that unlike the silly SL43 AMG, which gets a 4-cylinder engine, imagine that, an SL63, an SL43, $130,000 with a 4-cylinder engine. Mercedes, they don't know what they're doing. They're just giving people. This beauty shares the same engine as the Aston Martin Vantage Roadster, a 4-liter V8 bi-turbo, making about 469 horsepower. And similar to the SL63 engine, this is just detuned to make less horsepower. It is all-wheel drive. And what makes this even better is that unlike the 911, which uses a flat six, this is a V8 that sounds a lot better than that, and it's all-wheel drive. But of course, there is no manual option, which some people might not like that. But most people don't care because we sell more automatics than we do manuals. And the beautiful thing is that this is hand-built V8. This is not the fake one. This is actually an AMG, handcrafted by Marco Leonardo, the most German name I've ever heard. Now let's jump onto the inside. That door handle keeps closing, so I have to kind of like slide my hands to open it. When you jump inside the Mercedes SL55, or the SL in general, you're welcomed by a completely different interior compared to the Porsche 911, the Aston Martin Vantage. In fact, nighttime this turns into a nightclub with the amount of ambient lighting that it has. And of course, the projectors onto the ground, that's AMG and so on. But then you're welcomed by a massive screen in the center, which you can tilt forwards and back so that you can adjust it to what you want it to be. And then there is a massive digital cluster with thousands of sub-menus and hundreds of types of layouts and designs, of course. And then you've got the steering wheel, which is very much like a space shuttle. It uses many buttons, and most of them are touch or press or feel or lick or kiss or whatever. It's got hundreds of ways to adjust. The start button is buried around somewhere in the back. It will take you a couple of days to get there, but eventually you will start the car. It has enough carbon fiber on the inside that you can probably build an air intake for your Civic Type R, like the centerpiece, the door handles, and so on. And it has one of the most amazing audio systems out there that Mercedes got married to for a long time, because I've seen this audio system before in the Mercedes and I've seen it for a long time. But when you jump inside with this package that we have, you're welcomed by this beautiful leather quilted vented seats, heated seats in the front, all the features that you want. In fact, it's pretty cool when you pull the handle on the side for the seat, in case if you want to get into the second row. Well, when I say you want to get into the second row, I meant the kids, because no adults will be able to sit in the back of this if I'm sitting in the front, unless there's a kid driving this. Otherwise, nobody can sit in the back. But the SL has always been like that. It was never meant for adults sitting. It was meant for 2 adults in the front and pets in the back, or maybe children in the back. And that's about it. I can't even put my son's car seat in the back. That's how tight it is. When you purchase an SL55, you get this: your access to the AMG private lounge. So what that is, it's your Mercedes extended experience. And when you become part of that lounge, you get certain perks like benefits, news, meaning the latest AMG cars, community, events, all the goodies right here. But you have to become a member. And guess what? You get to meet Lewis Hamilton. Sorry, I forgot that. He races for Ferrari now, but they forgot to update this thing here. No Lewis Hamilton, just the benefits. And then another thing, because this vehicle is equipped with massive screen and giant tablet in the front, well, it is touchscreen plus the button located onto the steering wheel, but I'm assuming most people will go straight for the touchscreen option, unlike BMW, which has a scroll button. This comes with something really cool, and it's right here in my hand. And it has an actual serial number, as if it's a part of the car. So in case if you lose this, you can call up Mercedes dealership and say, I lost part 00986, so on, which I'm assuming is probably about $200 to purchase this. I haven't researched it yet, but it has a part number. It is the microfiber cloth to clean the screen. Yes. One thing they forgot is to put the Mercedes logo, because in case you lose it, you know that that's the quality. But I gotta admit, this is actually pretty cool. Let's start first with cleaning my sunglasses. I'm not taking this because I'm not one of those people. But you can use this to clean your screen. And in case you lose it, just call up your dealer. My camera guy says I should try and fit into the second row. I don't think it's a smart idea, but challenge accepted. First up, what you need to do is pull the lever at the top, and the seat moves automatically in the front. Are we done, Mercedes? I think we're done. And it's got the tiniest floor mats. What is this? This is the part of my job that I do not like, but yeah, I'm not going to try and do that, because if I pull this thing all the way back, yeah, it won't be a good idea. But one thing I did see, that it has these speakers in the back, plus speakers on the side here, so you can listen to music when you're sitting in the back. Should I try? Yeah. He's like, do it. I feel like I'm going to get squashed. Oh God, this is a bad idea. Let's see. It stopped. Okay, that's a good thing. It does have the security feature, so it doesn't crush you, but hold on. So the headrest goes down. Nope, no good. Yeah, it stops, which is a good thing, but I could never. Hold on, but if someone was sitting like about this much. Yeah, not a good idea. Ugh. I don't even know why I tried it. To do launch control, all you have to do is scroll all the way to race mode, and that's about it. Line up the car properly, and we should be good to go. Foot on the brake all the way. That's race mode. I love Mercedes launch controls. 4-liter V8 twin turbocharged, bi-turbo in this case, making 469 brake horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It uses a 9-speed automatic transmission, and it is all-wheel drive. You gotta love an all-wheel drive Roadster. This beauty, compared to the SL55, makes about 200 horsepower less. The suspension system is tuned differently to be more comfortable for day-to-day, more kind of like a Grand Tour. I think the perfect example that you would compare this to would be the Lexus LC500, which is around the same horsepower, about 472 horsepower. This would kind of fit that comparison. Now, the beauty of this is that on the outside is a piece of art. Compared to the SL63 AMG, this is tuned differently. So the engine makes lower power because it's detuned. Mercedes also says certain parts in the SL63 are of course for high performance. This is kind of like your enjoyable daily vehicle. When you need to have some serious fun in comfort mode, all you have to do is into race mode, press onto the button for the manual transmission in this case, and downshift again, and now you think for a detuned version this would sound like crap. It actually doesn't. It sounds really good. I would know that this was an SL55 if I didn't look at it on the outside, because it actually sounds about the same as the SL63. The thing is that the SL63 feels more stiff on the suspension, the steering is a bit more direct, not as heavy, and in comfort mode it actually feels the same as in Sport Plus or race mode. This, on the other hand, when you put it into comfort mode, it actually turns into a civilized vehicle, and we're gonna do, there we go, to drive mode, and there you go. And the other thing is that you can put the top down as you're driving. Here we go. I'm about 40 kilometers an hour. Let's see, I can go to like 40. Complete. Windows up in the back. I can actually do all at the same time. There's a button here that you can do all. You're never going to enjoy a 911 like this Mercedes Roadster. Mercedes makes, in my opinion, one of the best Roadsters out there, one of the best cabs out there. This is kind of like that. The Mercedes makes one of the best convertibles out there. This is the sweet spot. You get a V8, you get about 500 horsepower. If you want more, you can take it to a shop. You get amazing brakes, big calipers in the front, same thing in the back. The wheels look beautiful. The color choices are similar. You save about 60 to 70 grand from the higher trim in Canada, about $40,000 in the US. The difference between the SL55, the SL43, don't even look at a 4-cylinder. It's embarrassing to even look at that thing. You're paying $137,000 for that. That's crazy. In the US, you're looking at about $115,000 or so. That's just, there's no need for that. I think Mercedes is kind of like throwing stuff out there. Let's just give them whatever. 4-cylinder, soon enough, shove in an electric version of that, which eventually is going to come up. This is what you need. If you're looking to spend good money on a cab, this is it. Forget about the SL63, forget about the Porsche 911, unless you really want to be sport mode all the time and look like a dentist. Don't need that. You need this. The entire time, you need this. This thing is gorgeous. It's beautiful on the outside, inside. It's beautiful on the inside. It's comfortable when you need it. It's got a whole package. You don't need anything. Sport mode, race mode. I adore it.